can start, sir. Sir, let us stick to the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is my pleasure that platform is ready, and one of the very senior, mature professor, Savishmita Chauhan, is there to convey. You are requested to go ahead with the proceeding, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
May I say one thing, that a galaxy of the experts sitting over the platform, all are there. We are not to name. It will take much time. That's why I request to proceed. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Madam
Namaskar.
Susta, I have joined here.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, Rana. Sir.
Namaste, namaste.
Sir, pranam, sir.
Ram Sakal Babu.
Namaskar, sir. Pranam. Pranam, sir.
Okay, with due permission of our president, Professor R.S. Yadav, sir, I'm indeed pleased and glad to associate on this platform as convener. So, namaskar. With my sincere praise to Almighty and His blessings to one and all present here on this auspicious platform of founders and makers of modern geography in India for the 70th episode of the online lecture series dedicated to Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu, former professor in the Department of Geography, Calcutta University, Kolkata, West Bengal, under the stewardship of Professor Devendra Singh, Director of Researchers, Institute of Environmental Research and Rural Development, Patna, Bihar, and his dedicated strong team with the patron of Professor Rana Pratap sir and President Professor R.S. Yadav sir, former professor in the Department of Geography, Institute of Science, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. And we have with us eminent speaker for the day, Professor Sushil Kumar Day, Professor, Department of Geography, Northeast Hill University, Shillong, Meghalaya, and President of International Association of Geomorphologists. I now welcome. I would now like to invite and request Professor. One second. Shreya Bandopadhyay, Assistant Professor, to please propose welcome address. Professor Shreya Bandopadhyay, madam, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Yeah. Okay. Good evening to all the respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, researchers, teachers, students, and participants joining us from different parts of India and abroad. On behalf of the Institute of Environmental Research and Rural Development and the organizing team of the online lecture series, Founders and Makers of Modern Geography in India, it is my great pleasure and privilege to extend a warm and heartful welcome to all of you to the 70th episode of this prestigious lecture series. Today's lecture is dedicated to the memory and academic contribution of Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu, one of the eminent makers of the Department of Geography, Calcutta University, and a distinguished modern Indian geographers whose scholarly work and intellectual leadership enrich the discipline of geography in India. I consider myself specially fortunate and privileged to have had the opportunity to attend his classes as an external professor during my postgraduate studies. His unique style of teaching, particularly his captivating way of explaining complex geomorphological process through lively storytelling, make even the most complex geomorphological events easy to understand and memorable. His remarkable academic legacy and inspiring pedagogy continue to motivate generations of geographers and students alike. We are deeply honored by the gracious presence of our esteemed patron, Professor Rana Pratap, former head, Department of Geography, Magadha University. Our respected President, Sir, Professor R.S. Yadav, former head, Department of Geography, Institute of Science, Benares Hindu University, and our distinguished convener, Professor Savismita V. Chauhan, former head, Department of Geography, University of Mumbai. I would like to extend a special welcome to our esteemed speaker, Professor Sunil Kumar De, Professor, Department of Geography, Northeastern Hill University, Shillong, and the President of International Association of Geomorphologists. Sir, we are truly grateful for your valuable time and willingness to share your insight on the life, contribution, and academic legacy of Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu. I also welcome our chief guest, Professor Anuradha Sharma, former head, Department of Geography, University of Jammu, and all our distinguished guests, guest of honor, special guest, intercessor, observer from South Asia Geographers Association, esteemed academicians, and participants who have kindly joined this intellectual gathering. This lecture series has become an important academic platform for remembering and recognizing the contributions of eminent geographers who shaped the development of modern geographical thought and education in India. Through these discussions, we continue to inspire young scholars and strengthen the academic community of geography across South Asia. I express my sincere gratitude to all the organizers, coordinators, technical support members, and collaborators whose dedicated efforts have made today's program possible. I also welcome all the participants and students who have joined us online this evening. Your presence and active participation make this academic initiative meaningful and successful. With these words, I once again welcome each one of you to this memorable session and wish this program great success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shreya Bandopadhyay, madam, for your very warm welcome address to this episode. Thanks a lot. I would now like to invite our speaker of the episode, Professor Sunil Kumar De, sir, to please give his presentation on today's lecture of series dedicated to Professor Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Basu. Professor Sunil Kumar De, sir, please.
Thank you, madam. Just 1 minute. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Quite well. Okay, thank you very much. Firstly, I am grateful to Professor D.P. Singh, of course, for his continuous this invitation. I am late, of course, but better late than never because of my organizational activities. And I'm very happy to see two senior most professors are here. Professor Qureshi, namaskar, sir. And Professor Rana Pratap ji. They are also present on this platform. So I am thankful to them. The president of this founders and makers of Indian geography, Professor Jadhav, convener Professor Shabishmita madam, this my students who welcome just few minutes back, Shreya Bandopadhyay, and this from this eastern part, Jaidul, and all the organizing committee members of the founders makers of Indian geography, as well as the observers from the SAGA, South Asian Association of Geographers, from surrounding countries, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, Sri Lanka, all of them are present here. So I am really thankful to all of you. I am going to present on
such a gigantic professor, Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu, his contribution in Indian geomorphology as well as his life, just in the next few minutes, that I am very much privileged to work under his supervision. And I consider myself one of the luckiest student of him. Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu was born in Khulna district in Bangladesh in the undivided India. After that, after independence, they came to India and settled in Taliganj, Kolkata. And he did his schooling from Gandhi Colony High School. It was a Bengali medium high school, and finished his schooling in 1959. He completed his honors degree from Presidency College, one of the famous colleges in India, in 1962. He completed his master's degree in 1965 from the University of Calcutta, and PhD degree also from the same university in 1974. And he is a DELIT awardee of the University of Calcutta in 2007. He was privileged also. My teacher, Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu, was also privileged to get the guidance from Professor S.P. Chatterjee and Professor Kanan Gopal Bagchi. They were his teachers and mentor. And he got his doctoral degree from University of Calcutta in 1974. I will come in details afterwards. Professionally, Professor S.R. Basu was appointed as the lecturer in Geography, Presidency College, Kolkata, and he worked there from 1968 to 1974. After that, he came to Calcutta University as lecturer from 1974 to 1977. And after that, he left Calcutta University and joined North Bengal University as the reader and became professor there, professor head. He was there for a long time, 1977 to 1990. Again, he came back to Kolkata University in 1991 and superannuated from Kolkata University in 2007. And after that, he joined Rabindra Bharati University and started the Department of Geography in Rabindra Bharati University as a founding professor from 2008 till the last day of his life. So below some of the photographs of the scholars of him. Now I'll directly come to the research of Professor S.R. Basu on different geomorphic environment. See, he started his work from Bhagirathi Valley and continued from there. He went to Darjeeling Himalaya. Then after that, he came back to Piedmont region of Darjeeling Himalaya, alluvial fans. Then he worked on Subarnarekha Basin, then Sundarbans and Kolkata metropolitan area. So if you see the map in the left side, from Darjeeling to Sundarban, his research field was spread throughout West Bengal. And he is one of the most important and few geographers in India who worked both in Himalayan region and coastal belt. So his research field was extended from Himalayan region, from alluvial fans, from fluvial geomorphology, as well as the coastal geomorphology. So this is rarely found in Indian scenario. Professor Basu is one of the makers of process geomorphology in India. And his research issues covered by him, fluvial dynamics of Bhagirathi, just 1 minute. Then alluvial terrace along the meandering channel of Bhagirathi, then process of sedimentation in mobile bed alluvial river, morphology and hydrological changes of river Hooghly, fluvial deposition on Piedmont zone of Darjeeling Himalaya, then morphology of landslides in Darjeeling and Sikkim Himalaya, and lastly alluvial fans of Darjeeling and Ladakh Himalayas. Not only this from this geography, landslide was studied from geomorphological point of view. A geographer geomorphologist for the first time in India. So he started his work in Darjeeling Himalaya and continued for a very long time, even after coming back to Calcutta University. So the contribution of Professor Basu, in order to understand his contribution, we need to know the background of geomorphological research in India as well as in Kolkata School of Geography. Postgraduate teaching in geography first began in India in the Aligarh Muslim University. Everybody knows this one in 1931. But the department showed little interest in higher studies on landforms. It was, however, the University of Calcutta, it was the second one to open a department of geography for postgraduate study in 1941 for doctoral and postdoctoral research in geography. That happened to be the birthplace of geomorphological studies in India by geographers. So if we consider that geographer, geomorphologist, it is for the first time started from Calcutta University. The name of the person who deserved most of the acknowledgement from his successors for his contribution as to the development of geomorphology from Geographers Forum is Professor Shiva Prasad Chatterjee. Prior to that, this geomorphologist was used to be practiced by the geologist and mainly from the Geological Survey of India. And since the Geological Survey of India is located in the eastern part of this India, especially in Kolkata, that is why this researchers from this part, they were interested to carry out, even from geography field, on geomorphological research. Professor Chatterjee, who is rightly designated as the father of Indian geography. However, despite the very impressive status of Professor Chatterjee in the geographical precincts of India and abroad, a trend of geomorphological study was meekly development in the University of Calcutta, and that appeared to be different from the tradition set up by Professor Chatterjee. Then the person who set the other trend was Professor Kanan Gopal Bagchi, who started this process geomorphology in this part of India as a geographer, geologist geomorphology, immediate successor of Professor Chatterjee in the Department of Geography at the University of Calcutta. But his background was also geology. Like Professor Chatterjee, Professor Bagchi had his institutional education also at master levels in geology. However, unlike his predecessor, Bagchi's attention was drawn not so much to the bedrock land surfaces standing at varying elevations, but more to the low-lying alluvial fan of the Ganga Delta. And everybody knows Bagchi's the Ganges Delta may be referred to as one of the early notable geomorphological work in India and deltaic plains. Now, to evaluate, I am coming to this Basu's early training in geomorphology. They are the second generation of geographer, geomorphologists in India, but they have founded the base of the process geomorphology in India. So Professor Basu is one of them. To evaluate properly the geomorphological works of Professor Subhash Basu, it seems necessary to portray both Professor S.P. Chatterjee and Professor Bagchi. Not just because both of them happen to be Basu's teachers in his postgraduate study in the Department of Geography at the University of Calcutta in the mid-60s, but mainly because these two eminent academic persons had set two different trends of research in geomorphology at the University of Calcutta. There are few other examples also. Dr. Nishit Ranjan Kaur, who was the first head of the Department of Geography at Presidency College, Calcutta, till 1964, where Basu had his undergraduate training in geography honors at his time, stimulated many of his colleagues and students by his investigatory work on depositional geomorphology in the foothills of eastern Himalayas. So, in viewing Professor Basu's contribution to geomorphology in India, one should first appreciate his judiciousness at his relatively early age in his selection of theme of research in the above mentioned scientific context. Even during his undergraduate level, he was thinking that he would work on river. And that is why Professor Basu's first and lasting interest is river. He did not hesitate to shift from the tradition that had been set by Professor Chatterjee and to adopt what Professor Bagchi had modestly initiated. This process geomorphology, as I told you, Professor Bagchi modestly initiated, but Professor Basu has practiced in the field elaborately. In about mid-60s, Basu as a postgraduate student of geography, decided firmly to study the river Bhagirathi, one of the major distributaries of the Ganga that flows along the western margin of the delta. And he has published so many papers. Basu sometimes remarked in informal parlances that it is disappointing. He used to feel that it is disappointing for him to see the geomorphological studies in the fluvial landscape of India being done without getting a proper knowledge of hydrology. And that time, he used to consider two of his contemporary hydrologists of the world, V.T. Chow and fluvial geomorphology, Ullman and Miller. He used to follow this famous people of hydrology and fluvial geomorphology. His early realization as to importance of process studies in geomorphology in India is to be commended. And as such, he may well be regarded as one of the pioneers in the study of process geomorphology in this part of the country. Three characteristics of his approach to geomorphology deserve mention. Firstly, in all geomorphological activities throughout his career, he has considered fieldwork as the most important part of study. All his geomorphological works are founded on painstaking, intensive field activity. One of his teachers,
Other participants, please mute your mic.
One of his teachers, he was undergraduate teacher in Presidency College, Professor Satyesh Chandra Chakraborty, with whom he did some works on Bhagirathi River, once remarked, Subhash knows his field better than his own palm. And this Professor Satyesh Chakraborty became the director of IIM Kolkata, and he is the only director from geography field in India. This attitude towards study is closely related to the second speciality of his work. Professor Basu, in fact, does not appear to be preoccupied with any particular theory before he starts with his work. His unbiased and unprejudiced attitude to geomorphology is notable. As to the methodology of geomorphological work, he appears to be a follower of the inductive processes of thought. He has truly shown his power of keen observation and a skill of correlating the observed facts to arrive at a meaningful interpretation. Thirdly, he has shown a concern which was tacit in the early phase of his studies, but became explicit subsequently for application of his experiences to the solution of some of the problems that affect, spelling mistake, human life. In this respect, he is to be regarded as a process geomorphologist with the paradigm and commitment of a geographer. After obtaining the master's degree in geography, Basu became seriously engaged in research work on the river Bhagirathi for his doctoral degree under the supervision of Professor Nishit Ranjan Kaur. He was that time the professor in presidency. After that, he became the principal of Darjeeling Government College, and then he became the DPI, Director of Public Instruction of West Bengal. He was awarded PhD degree from the University of Calcutta on his thesis, The Decay and Associated Problems of River Dynamics of the Bhagirathi Valley in 1974. There is a story behind this PhD thesis. He used to say that when Professor N.R. Kaur was posted in Darjeeling Government College and Professor Basu was eager to come to field, so he used to do many works in Darjeeling also with his supervisor, Professor Kaur. Then he left Darjeeling, Professor Basu left Darjeeling for his field work, and he was saying that each and every inch of Bhagirathi Hooghly River Valley, he has completed his field survey for carrying out these activities. So ultimately, Professor Kaur did not see his final thesis, but he signed it to submit it. But after submission, when this one recognition came from Ullman from United States of America in John Hopkins University, that this is one of the good piece of work. We need to publish it here. And when Ullman's father came to Kolkata, that Ullman wrote a letter to Professor S.R. Basu that if possible you come to America. But I like and I honor my teacher, Professor S.R. Basu, that he said that India is a vast geomorphological field, and I have been brought up, I have been nourished by the air, water of this country. So if I have any knowledge, I will try to do my best for promoting Indian geomorphology. So he stayed in India, presidency, then Kolkata University, then North Bengal, again Kolkata. So throughout his life, he stayed in India, and through his activities, he became world famous. In the studies of the Bhagirathi River in detail by Professor Basu, a number of important findings have come out that deserve mention. The first of them is about the nature of distributary offtake from a main river. For the cause of Bhagirathi, which branches out from Ganga, Basu made a trio of remarkable observations of great importance as to offtake points, which are: number one, consistent eastward shift of the offtake points. Number two, the obtuse angular bend of the Bhagirathi at the section of its initiation as a distributary with reference to the southeast flowing river Padma. And number three, the reverse gradient of the Bhagirathi towards the Padma in the initial section of this distributary. And this is the diagram of this. You can see from acute angle, this offtake is gradually becoming obtuse angle, and this was published jointly with Basu and Satyesh Chakraborty in 1972. This clay particles, this is mud ball, formation of mud balls. The clay particles carried by the waters of the Bhagirathi coagulate to form egg-sized mud balls, and this is Professor Basu. Due to intermixing of sweet water from the Bhagirathi and saline water injected by the tides. This was another finding of Professor S.R. Basu. Basu and Chakraborty's consideration on the decay of Bhagirathi drainage system were not just confined to the domain of process studies, an explanation to enrich modeling a distributary channel network, but they carried their work further to a social cost accounting of the Farakka scheme. You know, there are different contradictions were going on, whether this Farakka will be helpful for India or Bangladesh. Until today it is going on. This Farakka scheme, the barrage that was being constructed across Ganga on the upstream of the offtake sites. The purpose of the Farakka barrage was to rejuvenate the decaying Bhagirathi by supplying additional discharge of water to it by feeder canal from the Ganga. So the amount of water is being supplied to through feeder canal to river Hooghly, Bhagirathi, but the amount of discharge has been reduced due to sedimentation in the upstream side of the Farakka barrage. So this is creating a further problem, and huge amount of bank erosion is taking place in both sides of the Farakka, all of you know. The second, though early, noteworthy contribution of Basu to geomorphology is related to identification and explanation of alluvial terrace along the meandering channel of Bhagirathi. Usually terrace used to be formed due to different tectonic processes, then channel incision and all these processes. But he interpreted the alluvial terraces of the Bhagirathi as a phenomena that takes place by the process of gradual migration of meandering, which is new, whereby the alluvial depositional forms, point bars are left and accreted to the former bank, and new depositional formation precedes in the direction of the shift of meanders. So these alluvial terraces are formed due to the migration of the meanders, which is a new observation in his work. These meander terraces, as identified primarily by Basu, are directly non-diastrophic, non-eustatic in their development, and they cannot even be satisfactorily interpreted by the principle of static rejuvenation, as conceived by Clyde Mallor. So this is for the first time in this part of this India, this meander terrace has been this initiated by Professor S.R. Basu, which is due to meander migration. The third observation of Basu in connection with the study of meander cutoff of the Bhagirathi is the critical angle formed by producing two tangential lines from a planar curve to a channel. He studied a number of cases of occurrence of neck cutoff. I'll show this neck cutoff, when the critical angle becomes less than a specific angle. And this makes an example of experimental work in geomorphology, and it appears to be important in this prognostication of channel behavior. Just see here, this meander curves. It is he has tried to show from different meander bends. He has tried to formulate one hypothesis that when the angle of these two necks is less than 5 degree, less than equal to 5 degree, and the distance between these two necks are less than 1 kilometer, then usually in the alluvial plain like Hooghly-Bhagirathi region, this river tends to form this uptake because of the reducing river energy. In the latter part of his career, he became seriously concerned with the application of his experiences in process geomorphology to the solution of some of real-world problems. The most vexing problem in eastern India is the alarming rate of siltation in the Hooghly, the downstream of Bhagirathi. As I told earlier also, that in Hooghly-Bhagirathi region, this alarming rate of siltation was taking place, which has been threatening the sustenance, if not the existence of the port of Kolkata. So, huge amount of sediment is being supplied. If you come to this part in India, during monsoon period, you will find how much dissolved sediment is being carried down by this river. Next, his next contribution to Piedmont geomorphology. When he moved to this North Bengal University in 1977, he thought that it is very difficult to go from North Bengal to South Bengal for continuous field study. So he was concentrating on Darjeeling Himalaya as well as the Piedmont region downside this Darjeeling Himalaya, or below this foothill of Darjeeling Himalaya. So he studied intensively the development of alluvial fans between Rohini Khula and the Balason River and the foot of Darjeeling Himalaya in respect of their geomorphic and physiological characteristics. See, when he joined in North Bengal University, within a few years, one young professor, at that time he was young, Professor Subhash joined in the department, and together they started to continue their work in the foothill region of Himalaya, especially these alluvial fans. This study is to be considered as an important one, as it has extended the notion of an alluvial fan as a single type of geomorphic feature which is produced by fluvial deposition on a Piedmont. The fan studied by Basu or Sarkar may aptly be regarded as polycyclic or multi-sequential fan, whose explanation may be clue to the nature of neotectonic processes operating in the southern front of eastern Himalayas. And there was a concept that complexity in geomorphological processes are more common than simplicity. And this is the example which he has cited doing intensive field work on alluvial fans and on this region. Next, what Basu and his younger colleague Sarkar had observed in foot slope of Darjeeling Himalayas found supportive evidence in their study on the fans in the Jaskar pigment of Ladakh Himalayas on the left side of the river Shuru, and it is between Shuru and Porkachik. And he and Sarkar went together to carry out this field work with some simple instrument, Ably Nebel, and they have prepared this contour with I think 2 meters interval contour with this Ably level only. And it was one of the outcomes of the joint Indo-German expedition to Ladakh, where both Basu and Sarkar were accompanied by Professor Matthew Skule of the Department of Geography, Göttingen University, and it was an international project. And Professor Matthew Skule, then Lasafa Miturijaga Singh, his student, now our friend, and Professor Basu and Professor Sarkar were together to carry out the detailed field survey of the alluvial fans in this area. They have identified that the Tongol fan has 3 distinct units, and from the right side diagram you can see this upper fan, middle fan and lower fan. Like the fan at the foot of the Darjeeling Himalayas, the Tongol fan appeared to be a composite one too. After this, then he is going upside of this Darjeeling Himalaya from foot Himalayan region to main Himalayan part, where landslide is a common phenomena. And he is considered as the first geographer geomorphologist in the country who has popularized and worked intensively on this landslide studies from geography background on geomorphology. He studied recent landslides on the 3 following sections: factors of instability of slope. There are different factors, then attributes of soil, then morphology of the slide slopes, pre-slide and post-slide, both phases he has studied. Because if you want to evaluate any landslide affected area, you need to do this both. You need to carry out the both pre-slide conditions through local survey or through previous maps and diagrams and previous database, and post-slide though you can find from the field directly. And the first one is this landslides in Tindhoria region, where both Basu and Sarkar published 1 or 2 papers. A place in the upper margin of the outcrop of sandstone of the lower Gondwana to Parmocarbonous formation on the bed quartzite of Darjeeling series of Precambrian age. So in this Tindhoria region below which there is a coal seam. This is a coal seam. And this coal seam is extended from Tindhoria to Bagrakot. So this coal seam, firstly, people used to extract this coal based on which this hill slopes used to fail, and Tindhoria cricket colony was failed also after this 1985 the first time, before that 1968, and after that 1993 many times these areas suffered from landslide and they have worked intensively on it. And this way they have tested the soil samples in North Bengal University laboratory and carried out these detailed reports. And through this intensive study, this way the morphology of Tindhoria landslide was prepared, pre-slide condition and post-slide condition. I am not going into the details. All these variables, rock at altitude, natural vegetation, landslide, soil color, he for the first time he had prepared, and we have also followed afterwards also in other slide areas. Post-slide conditions also, details of the slide, soil condition, then this important factor of this landslide, all these things are post-slide conditions are prepared to identify the morphology of individual landslide. He has never been interested in studying the factors and morphological aspect of landslide in isolation. But as observed before, his interest often centers around studying the interaction between various geomorphological processes. So this is very important in landslide studies. For single cause, no landslide take place over the earth's surface. This is with this Ghatwar, this Linkeshwar Ghatwar, he was the first research scholar of Professor A.S.R. Basu, awarded PhD degree from North Bengal University. This article of impact of landslide studies of fluvial process in the Lish River and Darjeeling Himalayas. It means that sequentially has prepared the sequential dynamics of this landslide occurrence in this Lish basin, and they have not only adopted the historical approach for studying landslides of the basin, but they took same approach for the study of Lish River, for which they prepared 2 maps to show geomorphic responses. It means that how much amount of sediment is being produced through these landslides, and how much it is carried down the river, and this sediment will ultimately affect the lower course of river. It was their main study point. So they have studied these progressive changes of hydraulic parameters in these different periods of the river from the perspective of the effects of landslide in the basin. So, and this article represents the observations as to the interaction between slope processes and channel processes in spatiotemporal. So this is a correlation between the impact of landslide on the downstream side of the river valley, and see how this river sedimentation is taking place. Here this river Lish, and this is the sedimented part, and sedimented part has extended from 1929 to 1984. And I am not going into the details of hydrological parameters. It is highly variable due to this landslide occurrence and sediment supply to the lower part of this river valley. Two of the Basu's articles, Causes and Consequences of Landslides in Darjeeling Town, Basu, Sangita Lama and Subhash Sarkar, a systematic study of landslides along arterial routes of Darjeeling and their control, may be cited as example of his concerns in application of landslide studies to the benefit of the society. Because if you consider the hill cut road in Darjeeling Himalaya as the arterial road and is the lifeline of Darjeeling Himalaya, in different parts of this hill cut road used to be affected by severe landslides. So when he went to this area, he has found that this may be an important point of study, that how much the road is affected and how many days or months the road is blocked and Darjeeling is cut off from the main part of the country. The article under the title Unscientific Mining and Degradation, as I told you earlier, and this was the thesis of Ramkrishna Maiti, who is in Vidyasagar University as a professor now. And he worked this, how mining activities are affecting the hill slope areas. And it draws attention to the importance of the study of anthropogenic processes in the present day geomorphology. And nowadays, anthropogenic geomorphology is an important sub-branch of geomorphology. Due to these human activities, different types of geomorphological hazards are taking place. This is one of the examples. And I have written with one paper with Professor S.R. Basu, my supervisor, and it was published in Geographia Polonica in 2003, where we have shown this landslide affected areas in Sikkim and Darjeeling, their causes and consequences of this landslide occurrences in both Sikkim and Darjeeling. It was a long article, and it was identified the landslide affected areas and landslide prone areas. At the end, we have done this one so that the future generation can get help from this one. At the end, Professor Basu's one of the outstanding contribution has been the monograph titled Rains, Landslides and Floods in Darjeeling Himalayas. And this was published jointly with Professor Leszek Starkel of the Polish Academy of Sciences. With his contribution, his collaboration with S.R. Basu was for a long time, and till the last day of his life. And this book was published by Indian National Science Academy, INSA, for which he worked as a co-editor of Professor Leszek Starkel. This is yes. The monograph has been a successful outcome of the scientific exchange program between INSA and Polish Academy of Science, which was carried out from 1984 to 1996. And this work is to be regarded as a very important one, as it is a pioneer work on Himalayas. Both are from Geographer. Leszek Starkel and S.R. Basu both are Geographer, geomorphologists, and this is for the first time they have highlighted the issue of rain, landslides and floods in Darjeeling Himalayas. That is why this is very important until today. After that, there is hardly any commendable work being published on this area, on these landslides. Basu's comprehensive approach to environmental problems led him to publish another book titled Changing Environmental Scenario of Indian Subcontinent, which amply bears the skill of his editing. The work shows how applied geomorphology can fit so smoothly in the interdisciplinary framework of environmental studies. So he authored several books. I'll come after some time. So this is an important contribution of Professor Basu. During his emeritus professorship in the Department of Geography, Calcutta University, he had worked on the arsenic contamination in groundwater in Kolkata metropolitan area and also on urban geomorphology. There are several scholars work under him on urban geomorphology of Kolkata. Water scarcity problem, their future in Kolkata. Through his immense contribution in landslide geomorphology, for the first time from geography discipline in India, He had submitted his postgraduate doctoral work on a comprehensive study of landslides and related phenomena in the Darjeeling Hill and their control, based on which he was awarded the D.Litt degree by the University of Calcutta in 2006. In fact, it is 2007. I'm sorry, it is in 2007. So in a nutshell, Professor Basu's research papers on geomorphology and environment, these are the sequential years. Briefly, we have given, I have the whole list of the publications. I will add in the written version. Study of Bhagirathi River, fluvial dynamics of River Bhagirathi, fundamental problems of meander formation, quantitative analysis of silt behavior of Bhagirathi, critical review of Farakka barrage project, meander migration, decay of Bhagirathi drainage system, process of sedimentation, water resources of leach, landslides in Tindharia, profiles of leach geese, and all this here started from this Bhagirathi and
Okay, sir. Once again,
morphology and hydrological changes of Hooghly River, this causes and consequences of landslides in Darjeeling town, landslide along arterial routes of Darjeeling, causes and consequences of Darjeeling and Sikkim. All this where it is published. I am not reading the whole one, but I will supply it through write-up. We have started with him, with Professor Basu, one important work, that human interference on landslides in Darjeeling Himalaya. So while progressing this work, this suddenly I got this bad news that sir is no more. I was in Tripura University that time, I could not come. But it was my mission that when it was sir's intention, I certainly I would complete it. But I have this in memory of him, I have published this paper from the geomorphology in Romania. He has published several books. You know, this left side to Bengali medium books from class 6 to class 10. This book was the most popular book in West Bengal, most popular. So this, so from when he was North Bengal University, since during that time he had written that book. After that, that book got wide popularity throughout West Bengal. Then in this man and environment, then Bengal Basin, changing environmental scenario of Bengal Basin. All these things are his publications. And to commemorate him, we have felicitated him in 2004 in the University of Calcutta Centenary Hall. And we have published this book on geomorphology environment. We have edited, Savinder Singh, Sharma and me, we have edited this volume in honor of Professor S.R. Basu in 2004. To recognize his scientific activities, he was selected by the INSA to visit Poland for 6 weeks for exchange of ideas related to Himalayan mountains. He was selected by the Indian INSA to visit Poland for 4 weeks in 1990 also. He was appointed as a visiting professor at the Division of Geography, Staffordshire University in 1995. He was elected as the president of Indian Institute of Geomorphology in 1999. He was appointed as visiting professor of Department of Environmental Studies, Rajasthan University. He was elected honorary secretary, Geographical Society of India, Kolkata. He was elected president of Himalaya Samikha Parishad, and he was selected as the emeritus fellow of the University of Calcutta in 2008. He had very well recognized memberships in different national and international organizations. British Geomorphological Research Group, UK, International Geographical Union, New York, he was present there. But after that, IGU, they do not consider any individual membership, but anybody can attend these conferences. Geographical Society of India, Kolkata, Indian National Science Congress Association, Kolkata, Indian Institute of Geomorphologists, Regional Science Association, Indian Cartographic Associations, Institute of Landscape Ecology and Acoustics, and Himalaya Samikha Parishad. So he had this life and annual membership of these organizations. After retiring from the University of Kolkata, He started this master degree program in geography in Rabindra Bharati University. This was a new journey in 2007, and that time the regular student number was 300 and distance student number was 300. And along with him, he took out one of our junior colleague Vishwajit Bera in the department, and he was there till the last day of his life. And he was a very good mentor, very good friend, very good philosopher to all of the students. So here, all of his research scholars and their families, we went for a get together. He was playing cricket with some of his students. Now I'll come to his family. He was also very blessed to get his family, to get his wife, Dr. Shukla Basu. When Professor S.R. Basu was in North Bengal University, Madam was posted in Siliguri College under College Service Commission. When he came to Calcutta University, he disappeared for Public Service Commission and joined in this Jhargram College, government college. And then ultimately she has joined in Vishwabharati University as a professor of English, and she is retired. She was retired from the Department of English, Vishwabharati University, Shantiniketan. And we are grateful to Madam also, most of the scholars, because before finalizing the thesis, we used to submit the whole manuscript to Madam for English checking and for final correction. So we are grateful equally with Sir. We are equally grateful with Madam because of her contribution in our life also. He has two sons. The elder son is this Dr. Somik Basu. He is a senior pediatrician in Kolkata with over 2 decades of clinical experience in child healthcare. And his wife, Dr. Kya Basu, presently she is the head, professor and head of the Department of Oncopathology. This is PG hospital in Kolkata. It is called the postgraduate SSKM hospital. Kolkata, it is one of the oldest hospitals in Kolkata where postgraduate medical science are taught. And she has started this oncopathology department, and she is the professor and head there. They have got one child, it is Sarthak Basu. He is studying this psychology honors, bachelor's degree. The younger son, he is now a world famous ophthalmologist. His specialization is cornea, of course. He is posted in L.V. Prasad Eye Institute. He is a consultant ophthalmologist, L.V. Prasad Eye Institute. He was the network director and Professor D. Balasubramaniam Distinguished Chair of Eye Research, Head of Clinical Research, Professor Brian Holden Eye Research Center, and many other designations. I have cut short this one. He has published more than 260 papers, research papers on ophthalmology, and he is a visiting professor in several universities in the United States and abroad. So he is heading this department as the director, and his wife is Bhimimindra. She's a gynecologist, and she is now in Apollo Hospitals, Hyderabad. So both of his sons and daughter-in-laws are in medical science. They have two children, Jubin Basu and Rihan Basu. One is in class 10 student, one is class 4 student. So he was very blessed to get this family with this dedicated wife and these two sons, those who are world famous medical scientists now. And equally, the students of Professor S.R. Basu who did their PhD with him, they are also well posted in different institutes. The first in North Bengal University, this Likhoneshwar Ghatwal, he is retired professor now from Guwahati College. Subhash Sarkar, many of you know his name. He was the professor and dean, retired now, North Bengal University. Sudip Kumar Bhattacharya, associate professor, North Bengal University. Sangita Lama and Subhash, co-supervisor of course, Subhash Sarkar. She is an assistant teacher. And in Kolkata University, she has guided more than 19 PhD scholars. The first luckiest, we are the two, Aparajita and me, we have done our this research work, and we have submitted on the same year and awarded also in the same year with Professor S.R. Basu. I am to in Shillong now. Aparajita was a DST women scientist, now guest faculty in Jadavpur University. Then Anushwa Ghosh, she is a school teacher in Loretta House. Chandani Chattopadhyay, she is a professor HR College, Mumbai. Anjana Ghosh, I didn't find his detail. Ramkrishna Maiti, he is a professor of Vidyasagar University. Shravanti Bhattacharya, she is a principal of Rani Birla Girls College, Kolkata. Alpana Mukhopadhyay, associate professor, Prashant Chandra Mohal English College. Shoma Bhattacharya, principal, she is no more with us because she has left us during this COVID period, very sad. She was the principal of Vivekananda Women's College. Shichir Chatterjee, he is an associate professor of Raidiki College. Paramita Majumdar, she is associate professor Vidyasagar Women College. Shotapa Saha, associate professor Astaguru Surendranath College. Maushumi Datta, she is the principal of Nagindas Khandwala College and she has been the director of MTS group of colleges under which 7 colleges are there. Then Bishwajit Bera, he is an assistant professor in Sidhu Kanu Birsa University. Then his wife Sumana Bhattacharya, she is an assistant professor of Jogesh Chandra Chaudhary College, Kolkata. Then Sujata Das, she is an associate professor in Huglu Women's College. Then Moumita Maiti, 2012, after his death, she was awarded. She is an assistant professor, Medinipur Gop College. Then Jayanto Sen, whose joint supervisor was Professor Sunanda Bandopadhyay, is an assistant teacher of Chowbaga High School. And lastly, Manoj Pant completed under, because after the after this expiry of Professor S.R. Basu, Manoj Pant completed his work under Professor Sunanda Bandopadhyay, and he was just the former chief secretary of the government of West Bengal. Just last December, his tenure was ended. Now, we have organized a felicitation program in 2004 in Calcutta University, and this is Professor A.K. Banerjee, the Vice Chancellor of Kolkata University, was greeting him. So these are some of the memorable photographs, and Professor Sunanda Bandopadhyay, then Jayanto Sen, then his wife Sumana, all these are helped to get these photographs. And his very close associates, this is Professor Sunanda, this is Professor Sharindra Singh, you know, Professor S.R. Jog, Dr. Jyotirmoy Mukhopadhyay, and their classmates, Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu and Professor Subhash Chandra Mukhopadhyay. They were the classmates. And these are the trio. I have taken it from Professor Sunanda's presentation last time, Professor MKB's. I have copied it, and without his permission, I have copied it. Excuse me, Professor Sunanda. So they are the trio of Calcutta University, fluvial and landslide geomorphologists. He was a fluvial geomorphologist, but mostly concentrated on morphometric techniques, and he's a glacial and coastal geomorphologist. And here we have taken our last visit with Professor Basu, my teacher, in Zaragoza, Spain in 2004. This is Professor Andre Goody, the former president of the International Association of Geomorphologists from the University of Oxford, and now I am the president. And he is my teacher, so I feel very proud to be with them. And Professor Basu organized several national and international conferences. Here is Professor Lesje Starkel. I am very much privileged that under the chairmanship of my sir, Professor Basu, I was the convener to organize the first International Association of Geomorphologists workshop on landslides in Sikkim and Darjeeling, Himalaya. The symposium took place in the University of Calcutta, and we went to the field in Darjeeling and Sikkim, and they were the guides in the field. It was a memorable experience. This is taken from Himalaya Samikha Parishad conference, and these are some of the souvenirs which was published for these different conferences. In a nutshell, Professor Basu published more than 100 research papers in nationally and internationally reputed journals. He has supervised 25 scholars has completed their PhD, 10 published books written and edited in English, 5 books written for honors and postgraduate students in Bengali, school level geography textbook from 5 to 10, sorry, it should be 6 to 10 in most popular since last 20 years, higher secondary geography text and practical book, then first among the Indian geographers who worked under 3 different physical environments simultaneously, Himalayan, coastal and deltaic. completed 8 research projects under national bodies in India. So I am really very much blessed. Again, I will tell you to get chance to work under Professor Basu, and I was also grateful to Madam Shukla Basu, his wife, also equally for their contribution in my personal life also. But I have taken this document from Professor Sunanda Bandyopadhyay. Presentation was made in 2010, and some of the writer from Dr. Jyotirmoy Mukhopadhyay, who had written the contribution of Professor Esar Basu in Indian geomorphology in the felicitation volume. And other scholars, they have also supplied many of the documents. Dr. Vishwajit Bera, Raja Ghosh, Jayanto Sen, Sumon De, Sumona Bhattacharya, Shiji Chatterjee, Paramita, then students of Rabindra Bharati University and students of Calcutta University. For this presentation, I am grateful to all of them for supplying different types of data. And his younger son, he had written, "You may have known my father as a great teacher, but in reality, he was just a great student." And Dr. Shayan Basu, he is the younger son of Professor Basu, who is the not only India but also world famous ophthalmologist. With this, I pranam to sir and pranam to all of you for giving me the chance to present this life and works of Professor Esar Basu before this August gathering, and it is in fact international gathering. Thank you very much, especially Professor D.P. Singh.
Thank you so much, Professor Sunil Kumar Desai, for such an in-depth and illustration presentation on Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu sir's contribution in the field of geography, especially geomorphology. It is indeed a novel lecture note which is getting published in the encyclopedia for wider and continuous distribution as literature to enrich the domain of knowledge for the geographers for generations to come. Thank you so much, sir, for dedicating your time and precious lecture on this occasion.
I think his younger son, Dr. Shayan Basu, is present in the list.
Oh, okay, sir.
If he wants to say a few words.
Sure. We would like to welcome him, sir. Please do call him.
Dr. Shayan, can you say a few words? Dr. Shayan? I think, no, he's not responding. Anyway, I would request you can.
Thank you, sir. With due permission of our President, Professor Ram Sakal Yadav, sir, we are indeed blessed to have with us the senior-most and famous national geographer of our country, Professor Mohammad Qureshi, sir, on this occasion. Sir, we request you to please say a few words and bless us. Professor Qureshi, sir, please.
Sir, please.
I heard Dr. Day with great
Thank you, sir.
care, and it was really a great education for me about Dr. Basu. I have never met him, but once there was a committee of actually there was a committee which had to be named from the UGC, and at that time I was a consultant to UGC. It was for BHU, for the GIS, etc., that technology input. And somehow or the other, I could name Professor Basu as one of the experts along with Dr. S.M. Rashid of Jamia Millia, because both were working on GIS, and his geomorphology was actually not very clearly, but remotely I knew that he was working on. I had the opportunity of meeting Dr. Bakshi, Kanan Gopal Bakshi, sometimes in 1960s when I was doing my research, and I went to consult the library of Calcutta University. So from that time, I knew some of them. The recent time when I went in a seminar, it was also long back because now I'm unable to move out because of my health conditions. I do not go out very often. But those memories are there. Actually, I met Dr. Sunil Munshi there when I visited in that seminar. Uh, and about 17 other lecturers from the surrounding colleges who came, and I had the opportunity of meeting them. They were all my students from JNU. So that was a great opportunity for me. I have been listening to Sunil ji and knowing his contributions. Actually, I follow him more than his teachers. So I was very much educated today by his lecture and also the presentation of the work of Professor Basu. Thank you so much, madam, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir, for your auspicious presence and a few words on this occasion. We are
Madam,
blessed to have you here. Yes,
now
sir.
his mic was not connected. Now it is connected.
Yes, sir, please.
Dr. Shayan Basu.
Okay, please.
I
Yes,
just
Dr.
wanted
Shan.
to, yes, if you can hear me. I'm sorry, earlier my mic was not connected. Firstly, I want to thank everyone and Sunilda particularly, for taking us through the life and journey of my late father and his contributions in the field of geography. I obviously feel very nostalgic and also very honored listening to the whole story that I have actually lived, working many times alongside my father when I was a very small child, going with him on his field trips, working on the landslides, particularly when he was working in North Bengal, in Darjeeling. These are very special memories for me. And I'm very thankful to the society and the organization and all the leading luminaries in the field of geography in India for recognizing his contributions and for honoring. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Shayan.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. San Basu, sir, for your presence and a few words. It's really very pleasing for us to have you on this auspicious platform of your beloved and this most respected father. A real tribute from all of us on the platform of founders and makers of modern geography in India, which will be cherished forever in the form of encyclopedia. Thank you so much for being there with us. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I would now request all the panelists to please give their brief this view on just in 2 to 3 minutes. So I would now like to invite our chief guest, Professor Anuradha Sharma, Madam, former professor and head Department of Geography, University of Jammu. Madam Anuradha, please.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Very pleasant evening to all the geographers present on this platform, including Dr. Sab, uh, uh, for joining us on this 70th episode of online lecture series devoted to Professor Basu from Calcutta University, Department of Geography, Calcutta University, Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu, who was the former professor and head of the Geography Department. In fact, it is always a pleasure and a moment of pride for all of us to know about the geographers from the various parts of the country whom we have actually not met but just heard about them. And the such kind of lectures actually make us to realize the kind of effort and all the knowledge that has been gathered by them and given to their students, and in the form of books and reports and papers, how much they have worked on. And especially talking about Professor Basu, who, whose life has been so inspiring, especially after the details that we heard from Professor Sunil Day, who has been a proud student of Professor Basu, that despite all his high degrees in geography, he also went for D.Lit at a later stage. So this shows his interest in the subject, and also shows what his son had, how Dr. Sunil uh, uh, had ended this interaction with the words of his son, that he must have been a teacher in the eyes of others, but he has been basically a student all through. And very truly, as we see what all work and what all effort he has made in the field of geomorphology, and especially the magnetic personality that he was, not only physical personality that he had, but even the academic and academic personality also, he has proved to be a very good teacher, a very good student also, especially the three perspectives that he had for geography in mind, especially the approaches which was pertaining to the fieldwork, which is the core of geography. And not only the fieldwork that he has done so intensively, but also focusing on the methodology, especially the inductive approach and the application in human life, especially the real-time problems that he was trying to solve with the help of whatever the understanding he gathered from the field. So this is what is basically required in a particular discipline, and he has very rightly shown and given his input in this application of the subject in the real time, solving the real time problems. His interest in geomorphological processes has been really commendable, and not only working on the rivers, but working in the Piedmont plateaus of the region of Darjeeling. And he has worked right from the eastern Himalayas to western Himalayas, right from coastal region to the mountain regions. The intensity of the work in the field that he has done is really remarkable and commendable. Professor Day, your details of the beautiful description of the maps that you had shown and the pictures that were given in the presentation, they had been very impressive, and actually tells us all the intricacies that he had regarding the academics and for the social life that he has had. It is a beautiful reflection of his personality. I am really thankful to the organizers for having me here as a chief guest. It is a matter of great honor and pleasure for me, because all my senior professors being here on this platform, and knowing about from them, knowing about the geographers who have worked so much in the field of geography, is really a, a matter of great interest and knowledge for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Anuradha Madam. You have very rightly commented. But what has really touched my heart too is, being such a great geographer, he has given due consideration to the school level geography, because the seeds are to be sown at the school level, which is rightly done, and right from the 6th standard to 12th standard. So no wonder why so many geographers from Calcutta are there throughout our country as well as abroad, especially in our Mumbai region. So it is that reflects, that the senior most geographers has to take due care of school level geography first, That will help to grow the subject of geography and discipline to wider level. Thank you so much, madam. I would now like to invite Dr. Lokesh Srivastava, sir, State Department of PG Studies and Research in Geography, Rani Durgavati University, Jabalpur, Madhya Pradesh. Dr. Lokesh, sir, please.
Professor Rana Pratap sir and Professor Yadav, Madam Chauhan, अभी हमने बहुत ही शानदार जो व्याख्यान सुना प्रोफेसर सुनील कुमार डे का, और सुनील कुमार डे ने प्रोफेसर बसु के बारे में बहुत ही विस्तार से और सभी बातों को गंभीरता से लेते हुए और उन्होंने उनका अध्ययन किया और उनकी एक एक बातों को, एक एक शोध के क्षेत्रों को बड़े ही सुंदर ढंग से हम लोग को समझाया और बताया कि किन किन क्षेत्रों में काम किया। उनका जो मेनली काम दार्जिलिंग एरिया का था और ईस्टर्न हिमालयाज के आसपास का एरिया में उन्होंने जो काम किया, वो सारे काम बहुत ही अच्छे ढंग से उन्होंने किए। और प्रोफेसर सुनील कुमार डे ने जो उनके कृतित्व हैं उनको बताने का जो उनका तरीका था एक एक बात को लेकर, और बड़ा ही शानदार प्रदर्शन किया। हम प्रोफेसर सुनील कुमार सर को बहुत बहुत बधाई प्रेषित करते हैं और हमारी उनके प्रति हमेशा श्रद्धा रहेगी प्रोफेसर बासु के प्रति, और उनको नमन करता हूँ। थैंक यू वेरी मच। नमस्कार।
Thank you so much, Dr. Lokesh, sir, for your valuable presence and sparing your time for this episode. Thanks a lot, sir. I would now like to invite our distinguished guest, Dr. Sanjit Sarkar, sir, Associate Professor, Department of Geography, Central University of Karnataka, Calcutta. Dr. Sanjit Sarkar, sir.
Namaskar, ma'am. Thank you so much. And it's really, indeed, it's my honor to be invited in this academic forum. And after listening about Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu sir by Professor Sunil Kumar Des, it was alongside the academic gain, it was really heart touching for me, because the book which really inspired our academic journey, rightly Professor said that it is the book named Basu Maulik book, which is the book popularly known in West Bengal, particularly for the matriculation students, particularly those who were the student in 90s. So Basu Maulik book was one of the famous book of that period of time. So it is really heart touching to listen about Subhash Ranjan Basu and his contribution in geography, particularly in West Bengal and in different parts. Environmental geography, geomorphology was really immense, and his work is commendable. I just have a request to the organizer that if this can be documented in proper way, so that it will be disseminated to many of the young geographers, and this contribution can be documented properly. And I really thanks to the organizer for successfully completing the 70th episode of the founders and makers of modern Indian geography. This actually a platform which really gives an knowledge about the geography in different parts in India, and how different geographers have made the contribution. I really request to the organizer to have a proper documentation and disseminate to among us for the wider audience. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sarkar, sir. Already this all the lectures are getting documented, and very soon it will be published.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
it will be really helpful for young generation geographers.
Sure. I would request you to please join all our episodes and so.
Sure. I am
it will be a great
closely
honor for
following
us. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I would now like to invite our other distinguished guest, Dr. Rajesh Kumar Abhay, sir, Associate Professor of Geography, Tester Innovation Center, University of Delhi.
Thank you. Good evening all, and thank you, Chavan ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on Professor Basu. I think it's really a pleasure for me to be the part of this lecture today, to know about our great scholars, which have worked so silently and so dynamically. The topics were so easy, like the study of Bhagirathi River, which I have seen Professor Sunil, they had beautifully summarized. earlier the topics used to be very easy and easily connecting. Nowadays the titles of the research are so complex that it takes little time to understand them. But these scholars like Professor Basu has worked so dynamically, and if you will see his work on Bhagirathi River, he has touched all the aspect of Bhagirathi River, from basic to fluvial dynamics to quantitative analysis to critical review, and over the time period he has explained everything about Bhagirathi River. And these kind of studies I think nowadays are missing. So thank you. He was a great scholar. He has worked in various fields, as my senior colleagues and senior respected teachers like Professor Qureshi has already mentioned. He was a great academician also. Professor Sunil De has told us about his publications. He has organized various conferences. He was expert in the hydrology, disaster management, and he is a great teacher. I think he is a blessed teacher. He has the students like Professor Day and many more. So congratulations and heartfelt thanks to Professor Sunil Day for compiling, documenting, and beautifully presenting the lecture about late Professor S.R. Basu. And also thank you and congratulations to the organizers of 70th episode of Founders and Makers of Modern Geography. They are working beautifully in the field, and they are making our generation to think about it, that what kind of work our seniors have done it. And thank you so much, and congratulations to the whole organizing team of IRAD, Patna. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Rajesh Kumar Abhay sir, for your
Yes,
very
sir.
good comments. Thanks a lot. I would now like to invite our another distinguished guest, Dr. Josephine Dias Madam, Associate Professor and Head Department of Geography, College of Arts and Science and Commerce, Pupen, Goa. From the, yes, Madam, please.
Good evening to all the respected dignitaries on this platform. Greetings all the way from Goa to all of you all. And it is a great privilege to hear a very detailed account on Professor S.S. Basu. I had read about him on my textbooks because being a geomorphology student and a student of Professor S.R. Jog, Professor Basu's name was frequently been taken up at the Pune University campus. One of the important things that Professor Sunil Kumar has highlighted on Professor Basu's study was the study of the Bhagirathi River and its valley, the Subarnareka basins, which we teach our students as just names today. Darjeeling as a hill station, which is constantly affected by landslides. The Ladakh region, the Sundarban, which is in news day and day, the metropolitan city of Calcutta. All this just tells us that it's a very holistic study that Professor Basu took, which was enjoining landscapes to human habitations. And secondly, I was impressed that these second generation geomorphologists, I would say them, their immense contribution to the study of geography has been closely appreciated. Uh, However, these areas today are laid behind for us, the modern geographers, what we call us, and new domains have been exposed. His contribution to school curriculum just tells us that we have to catch our students young. And Professor Basu's contribution to Piedmont geomorphology was also immense contribution. I was myself fascinated by his studies and research, especially on landslide. Today, landslides, I'm sure all of you all will agree, are considered as everyday disasters. However, if we see Professor Basu's contribution, it tells us that these people did these studies at a time when there was no GPS. Today, we would like to use all modern gadgets to study these disasters. We highly appreciate this immense contribution of Professor Basu to geography. I take this opportunity to thank Professor Devendra Singh, Madam Savita Smita, Professor Sunil Kumar, and the son of Professor S.S. Basu. It was a very nostalgic moment to see son of Professor Basu on this platform. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share a few precious minutes to acknowledge the contribution of late Professor S.S. Basu. Thank you, madam. Thank you, everyone.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Josephine Madam, for always being there with us with your kind support. Thanks a lot. Yeah. I would now like to invite our guest of honor, Dr. Rambhushan Tiwari, sir, Associate Professor, Department of Geography, Institute of Science from Banaras Hindu University. Professor Tiwari, sir, please. I think he had joined earlier. Yeah. Professor Tiwari, sir, are you there? Okay. Do we have Professor Yogesh Dutpachre, sir? Professor in Department of Geography from Chandrapur, Nagpur. Professor Narendra Palit, sir, Veer Kunwar Singh University, Ara, Bihar.
नमस्कार।
नमस्ते।
आज का ये अनवरत जो 17वां एपिसोड हुआ वो निश्चित रूप से हम सभी भूगोलवेत्ताओं के लिए काफी महत्वपूर्ण रहा है और भूगोल के क्षेत्र में योगदान दिया सुभाष चंद्र बसु जी ने, तो निश्चय ही हम सबके लिए प्रेरणादायक है। और वास्तव में आज जो भूगोल के क्षेत्र में रिसर्च हो रहे हैं, शोध कार्य हो रहे हैं, वह जो जियोलॉजी की ओर कम गया है, तो निश्चित रूप से जो मार्गदर्शन हमें मिला है उनके जीवन से, उन्होंने जो भूगोल के क्षेत्र में काम किया है, खास करके जियोलॉजी के क्षेत्र में, वह काफी महत्वपूर्ण साबित होगा हमारे लिए और मार्गदर्शक होगा हमारे लिए उनका कार्य। और मैं समझता हूँ कि इस प्रकार से जो प्रयोग चल रहे हैं वह निश्चित रूप से हम उन भूगोलवेत्ताओं को जानने का अवसर प्रदान करता है कि हम अपने कार्यों को किस रूप से दें जो हमारे समाज के लिए और विषय के लिए महत्वपूर्ण होगा। मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ अपने डॉक्टर ऑनरेबल प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर डेप्ट सिंह जी का, जिन्होंने मुझे आज एज ए गेस्ट इन्वाइट किया है। मैं उस लायक नहीं हूँ, मैं बस एक मेंबर हूँ इस यात्रा का, यात्रियों का एक मेंबर हूँ। तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, ऐसे ही यह अनवरत चलता रहे और हमें ज्ञान की प्राप्ति होती रहे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, Dr. Narendra, sir. I would like to add something. You all are our respected guests and members of geography, and everybody is having his own capacity in his own field. So never feel oneself as low, sir. You are very much respectable and our guest of honor today on this episode. We now have with us observers from South Asian Geographers Association, Professor Siraji sir, former professor and director, Institute of Geography, University of Punjab from Lahore, and past president of Pakistan Geographers Association. Professor Siraji sir, please.
Madam Professor Ataur Rahman is also here. Professor Ataur Rahman Sahab.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't locate. Okay, I would like to invite our special guest from Saga, Professor Attarur Rahman sir, Professor and Chairman, Department of Geography and Geomatics, University of Peshawar, and President of Pakistan Association of Geographers. Professor Attarur Rahman sir, please say a few words.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Chavan, and all the respected organizer, the patron, the president and the convener, and especially the organizing committee and the coordinator, the Professor Devendra Prasad, and all the respected senior geographers and the young lords and cream of the geography community. Very good afternoon to all my seniors and juniors. It's really a great honor and pleasure to be here. I was listening to Professor Sunil Kumar. This was my second presentation, which I am listening to him previously. We both were invited by the Chinese young geographers, and he was representing the Global International Association of Geomorphologists. Thank you, Professor Sunil Kumar.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I always, if I look to the geography communities, very little and very few people nowadays, they are working in each department, they are working on the field of geomorphology. And if we look into our seniors, like Professor Basu, he was senior geomorphologist in the Department of Geography, Calcutta University. But if you look into his contribution, today we can see Professor Sunil Kumar D. He is the product of his professor, the senior geomorphologist. In Pakistan, we have also one geomorphologist, the late Professor Dr. Muhammad Said. He was one of the eminent geomorphologists in the country. He got his PhD from the Sheffield University. He worked on the Barbage Basin of the UK. But nowadays, if you look into the geomorphology field, nowadays our students and young scholars, they are looking to the shortcuts of the research areas. They usually ignore the geomorphology because it is one of the tough subject and field oriented subject. So I think this is one of the most important field of the geography, physical geography. We must work in the field of geomorphology because this is the area for which we are connected with other branches of geography. So this is one of the foundation field of geography. I'm not taking much of your time. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, Professor Chawan, to be part of this very important episode, the 70th episode. Very amazing. And thank you very much. And thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Akhtar, sir, for seeing you after a long time. We are really pleased and happy. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time. Please do join with us the coming episodes. Thanks a lot. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Professor Shiraji, sir, are you there? Sir was there earlier. Any other Saga members?
Yes, madam. Professor Shrestha from Nepal.
Okay. Dr. Uttam Shrestha, sir, Associate Professor, Central Department of Geography, Tribhuvan University, Kathmandu, Nepal. Professor Shrestha, sir, please.
Yes, hello, I'm audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible. Yes.
Namaste to all the Saga members and all the distinguished geographers from Asia. And I'm very sorry for being late because my internet was interrupted almost 1 hour. But listening all these facts is that definitely I'm very interested to know about these things, and I'm happy to hear all those things. And really, that's interesting field. And definitely now the geomorphological things are emerging in that area due to the interruption of the river flow by various development activities. So I think now we should have to think about new scenario of geomorphological study of that area also. I really thank to Sarchana ma'am, Devinder sir, and all the ERD team and all the senior geographers. Thank you very much for giving me a chance to speak on this platform. Thank you very much, sir. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shrestha, sir, for always being there with us. And no worries, all the episodes are available on the YouTube.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, I would now like to invite our coordinator from West Bengal chapter, Dr. Jaidul Islam, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Geography, Alia University, Kolkata. Dr. Jaidul, sir, please.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all, especially Professor Sunil Kumar De, for his auspicious speech on Professor Basu. Basically, ma'am, with a student of West Bengal, popularly known Professor Basu as the authors of different books in Bengali versions. Besides that, we also very grateful to him because of the founding of the Department of Geography at Rabindra Bharat University, and it was the first university in West Bengal where we have the opportunity to study in Bengali versions. So I again thank you all for this auspicious occasion, and I must take the opportunity to invite all for the next session on Professor Professor, so I think I just Subhash Mukhopadhyay, yes. Sorry, extremely sorry. Professor Subhash Mukhopadhyay. Yes, sir. Professor Subhash Chandra Mukhopadhyay, and it will be delivered by Lakshmi Narayan Satpathy, sir. Thank you all.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Jaidul, sir. We are happy to have young geographers like you on this platform. I would now like to have with us our patron of the episode, Professor Rana Pratap, sir, former professor in the Department of Geography, Magad University, Bodh Gaya, Bihar, and former president of Navy and patron of Association of Geographers of Bihar. Professor Rana, sir, please.
Thank you very much. Our friends, geography brothers, and especially Professor Qureshi, the senior most geographer here. All the friends, we are happy to celebrate the 78th Foundation Day lecture. Really, this is a landmark for us. And for this, I must congratulate the team led by Professor Devendra Prasad Singh. He is doing all the things, and we are happy to be here. Today, we have taken a very nice personality, Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu, and he was one of the leading geomorphologists of the country. I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to say that during 1996, at the time of 28th International Geography Congress, which was held at Netherlands, Hague University, I was with him, he was with us, and we were together for 3 or 4 days. During that, I found him that how he was a nice man. When we came back to India, within a week, I got a letter that he has appointed me as an external examiner for his PhD research worker of Darjeeling University or so what. I really remember. And he called me at Calcutta. Interview was taken there. And again, we were together for 2 days. So during that, I found that how he is laborious, how he was a great geography person. And Professor Sunil Kumar Dey, he has truly highlighted his teacher, his PhD teacher, and he has highlighted accordingly what he has contributed, how much he has contributed to the growth of and development of our geography. So really, this is a very interesting, and we are very happy to be here. And we are doing all the things, the hidden geographers, we are making them to the surface and to know the details. So a great job. We are finishing it. We are doing this in the services of the nation. And in such a great work, we have friends like Ataur Rahman from Pakistan and Shrestha and other friends from Nepal and West Bengal and Sri Lanka. So this way, we are doing a nice job for development of Asia also. So on this occasion, I welcome and I thanks to all the personality, especially Professor Ramsakal Jadhav, President of the Day, and other friends who are here, Ataur Rahman Sahab, Professor Devendra Ji, Sunil Kumar Dey Sahab, and Madam Savita Chauhan. Actually, she is the backbone, she is the base of our society, and I conclude and I thanks her for a nice job. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Rana, sir. We seek your blessings on this occasion, and your presence all throughout keeps us motivated to give our best to this platform. Thank you so much, sir. I would now like to have our president of the session to please give his presidential remarks, Professor Ramsakal Yadava sir, former professor in the Department of Geography, Institute of Science, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. Professor Yadav sir, please.
Thank you, madam. Indeed, it's a great pleasure for me to be associated with this platform, and also I am sincerely thankful to Professor Deven Pratap Singh to invite me in different capacities on different occasions. Here, before I make my presidential remark, I would like to go my sincere thanks and this acknowledgement to Professor Rana Pratap, Professor Muhammad Qureshi sir, and such senior persons. I bore my head to them. उनको सभी लोगों को अभिनंदन, नमस्कार, आदाब, सत श्री अकाल। हम अब कहना चाहेंगे कि it's really great to listen about a great geographer. I would like to appreciate and admire the things presented by Professor Sunil Kumar De in wonderful way. I would like to applaud him and it is really his contribution to his teacher's contribution to the field of geography. Earlier occasion also, Professor Sunanda Bandyopadhyay too presented also very nicely. I was also associated with that episode. I would like to make my remarks very briefly that as a teacher guiding my students in Arunachal University, Arunachal Pradesh, I had some occasion to lead students with teachers in Dibang Valley and also the Krang Basin, Lower Basin and Upper Reaches. It is a so tough task to conduct research in the field of geomorphology. And the upside, downside movement, it is really hard, and also under this situation, the professor, when facilities were limited, has carried such wonderful field work and made lovely presentation, such a nice process, geomorphological process analysis done by Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu. And those things had been really presented in wonderful way. I would like to compliment on the behalf of the entire platform. You have made wonderful presentation. Here I would like to say, not make my comment, is that he was really a teacher. Being a teacher, he has made signal contribution to educate students from the lower classes to the graduation, to the post-graduation, including doctoral ones. He was very much interested to make contribution to different levels. He has, of course, devoted entire time for academic purposes. First thing. Second thing, as a teacher, he has been certainly playing lot a role to teach students at graduation and postgraduate level. I would like to say that the tradition of geomorphological study in Calcutta University and West Bengal is really superb, no doubt about it. And that tradition is still continuing. The actually second generation is sincerely committed and going. Not only that, next generation, whether it's following or not, that is there, but whatever little experience I have in the Calcutta University, now people are moving to gender geography, women studies, this and that, language, and many other things. ignore. Actually, this geomorphology focus getting gradually lesser ones. But some of them are really devoting their time so such a nice way. It is really marvelous ones. One more thing is there, I would like to say that the contributions made by Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu and Trinity Professor Sunil Kumar De told, I have heard and also many occasions met Professor Professor Mukhopadhyay. He was also wonderful teacher and also wonderful human being. And all the time, probably he was married to geomorphology. He was so much dedicated to study and focus entirely going to the process and morphological form in the geomorphology, mainly physical geography. Then one thing is there, the gradually geography field is expanding and also has expanded a lot. Focus is much more in non-geomorphology or human geography related aspects and issues are getting focused throughout the country, and geomorphology or physical field is getting lesser and lesser. Still, on this particular time, some of the persons are sincerely dedicated to contribute to the physical field of geomorphology. It is really great contribution, marvelous contribution, and I would like to congratulate Professor Sunil Kumar De to present things such a nice way. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Professor Ramasakal Yadav, sir, for your presidential remarks and auspicious presence on this platform. You are very aptly and in a nutshell given the entire gadgets of the episodes presented today. Thank you so much. Please keep us blessed. I would now like to invite our intercessor, Professor Devendra Singh, sir, former professor in the Department of Geography, Patliputra University, Patna, and Director of Researches, IRAD, Patna, and former co-chairman, Commission on Geography Office, Nagi convener, and Saga former president of Association of Geographers of India. Professor Devendra P. Singh, sir.
Thank you, madam, very much. But before my concluding note, I have to request one another very senior professor, Professor V.N. Sharma of BHU Varanasi, for a comment.
Yes, sir, please.
With permission from the chair. Professor Sharma.
Namaskar to all of you. Respected Professor Rana Pratap, Professor Qureshi, President of this episode, Professor R.S. Yadav, Convener, Professor S.V. Chauhan, Speaker, Professor Sunil Kumar De, the Chief Guest, Professor Radha Sharma, distinguished guests of honor, observers from South Asia Geography Organization, Professor Devendra Prasad Singh and his entire team, and all esteemed geographers from India and abroad. Today's episode has truly been enlightening and inspiring. I'd especially like to appreciate
our respected speaker, Professor Day, for presenting the life and academic contributions of Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu in such an excellent and meaningful manner. Certainly, Professor Basu's academic journey has been a great source of inspiration for all of us. From his student days at Presidency College and the University of Calcutta to his becoming a distinguished scholar of geomorphology and environmental studies, he devoted his entire life to advancing geographical knowledge. As Professor Day already described, his pioneering works on the Bhagirathi-Hooghly river systems, landslides in the Darjeeling, Sikkim Himalayas, groundwater hydrology, and of course environmental problems remain valuable contributions to Indian geography. Indeed, his research, writings, and academic vision will continue to guide future generations. Today, while remembering his great contributions and achievements, I pay my sincere tribute and respectful homage to Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu. Thanks the organizers, especially Professor D.P. Singh, for giving me this opportunity to speak a few words here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, very much. And good evening to all the geographers present on the platform once again. And I am very much grateful to one of the senior most geographers of our country who has also been the guide and patronized our mission since the earlier start of our journey, Professor M.H. Qureshi sir. And I am also very much grateful to our friend and brother of international repute, Professor Sunil Kumar Dey sir. I have been chasing Professor Dey, if I remember, since last 2 years.
Right. Thank you, sir.
But due to his very busy schedule and international occupations, he always assured that please wait, I will deliver the lecture. And ultimately, Professor Dey, in spite of his surgery, he has spared much of his precious time to deliver a very, very important and significant lecture upon one of the most important gemologists of our country. So I am once again very much grateful to Professor Dey. Friends, actually we are going to complete the 5 years of our journey of this online lecture series on founders and makers of modern geography of India on the 21st of June this year. And on the 21st of June, we are planning a special ceremony. And on the day, we shall be announcing our so many future programs. And on the 21st of this month, we are going to organize the lecture on one very important and pioneer and leading geographers of our country, none other than Professor R. Ramchandran of Delhi University. And the program is being organized by our young friend, Professor R.K. Abhay, under the leadership of Professor Subhash Anand, one very dynamic geographer of our country, and presently heading the Department of Geography of Delhi University, Delhi, of Delhi School of Economics. And Professor Abhay is preparing the lecture under the guidance of Professor Anand, and it will be our 71st episode. So I request you all with folded hands that please must join on the 21st of May this year, and also bless us by joining the completion of our 5 years of our journey.
Sir, 21st May is over.
21st June. 21st June, sorry. And for your information, that we have already completed and compiled and finalized the 6 volumes of our series, Founders and Makers of Modern Geography of India. But on the suggestions of so many senior professors like Rana P.B. Singh of BHU Varanasi and several others well-wishers, we have put our entire literature to be corrected by Grammarly app. So very soon, all the corrected literature of our 6 volumes will be get printed. And we have also requested Professor Subhash Anand of Delhi University that please help us in releasing our volumes in your leadership, your supervision, and we intend to release all the volumes by the Honorable President of our country. And Professor Abhay, under the guidance of Professor Ranjan, is trying their level best to be with our mission. So, friends, we are very much thankful to you all for cooperating, blessings, and supporting our mission since last 5 years. And I hope that your support, your guidance, your blessings, and your cooperation will be sobering upon our platform for a long time. So thank you all very much, and grateful to you all once again. Thank you very much. Thanks you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Devendra Singh, sir, for your dedicated efforts and voluminous work that will be cherished for generations to come. Thanks a lot. I would now like to invite Professor Indrajit Roy Chaudhary, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Geography and Applied Geography, University of North Bengal, Darjeeling, West Bengal, to propose vote of thanks. Dr. Indrajit, sir, please.
Thank you very much, ma'am. I am honored to be here to give the vote of thanks at the end of the session. I would like to give my thanks to the Institute for Environmental Research and Rural Development, Patna, Bihar. Today, we are very much enriched with the Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu sir memorial lecture, and I would like to give the thanks from the core of my heart to the speaker, Professor Sunil Kumar De, Professor, Department of Geography, Northeastern Hill University, Shillong, and he is the president of International Association of Geomorphologists. I would like to thank Professor Rana Pratap, former professor and head, Department of Geography, Magad University, Bodh Gaya. I also like to thank President Professor R.S. Yadava, former professor and head, Department of Geography, Institute of Science, BHU, Varanasi. I would like to thank our convener, ma'am, Professor Shavishmita V. Chauhan, former professor and head, Department of Geography, University of Mumbai. Today we have the chief guest, Professor Anuradha Sharma, professor and former head, Department of Geography, University of Jammu. And I would like to thank Dr. Shreya Bandyopadhyay, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Geography, Maharaja Nanda Kumar Mahavidyalaya, Purba Medinipur, West Bengal. Today, in this 17th lecture session, we have the distinguished guest, and we would like to thank Dr. Lokesh Srivastava, Head, Department of PG Studies and Research in Geography, Rani Durgavati University, Jabalpur, Dr. Shonjit Shorkar, Associate Professor, Department of Geography, Central University of Karnataka, Dr. Rajesh Kumar Abhay, Associate Professor of Geography, Cluster University Center, University of Delhi, Dr. Josephine Dias, Associate Professor and Head, Department of Geography, Goa. Today, in this session also, we have the guest of honor, and we would like to thank Dr. Rambhushan Tiwari, Associate Professor, Department of Geography, Institute of Science, DHU, Professor Yogesh Duprachare, Professor and Head, Department of Geography, Janata Mahavidyalaya, Chandrapur, Nagpur, Professor Narendra P. Palit, Professor, Department of Geography, Veer Kumar Kunwar Singh University, Bihar. We have the special guest from South Asian Geographers Association, Professor Ataur Rahman, Professor and Chairman, Department of Geography and Geomatics, University of Peshawar, Pakistan. We have Dr. Yaza Dutta, Lecturer, Department of Geography and Planning, Royal University of Bhutan, and the other members, that observer from Saga, Professor S.A. Shiraji, former professor and director, Institute of Geography, University of Punjab, Pakistan, Professor Umesh K. Mandal, head of the department, Central Department of Geography, Tribhuvan University, Kathmandu. We have with us Dr. U.S. Shrestha, Associate Professor, Central Department of Geography, Tribhuvan University, Professor M.S. Islam, Professor and Chairman, Department of Geography, Dhaka University, Professor P. Shaptoshi, UGC Emeritus Professor. We have also with us Dr. Shayan Basu. He has given his ideology about his father, that is the Professor Subhash Basu, and the coordinator from West Bengal chapter, Dr. Joydul Islam, Assistant Professor, Department of Geography, Alia University, Kolkata. We have the intercessor, Professor Devendra Prasad Singh, former Professor, Department of Geography, Patliputra University, Patna, and is the Director Researcher, IERD, Patna, former Co-Chairperson and Commission on Geography of Peace, Nagi. We have also the member, and we would like to thank Dr. Amrish Kumar Rai, Senior Assistant Professor, PG Department of Geography, Veer Kunwar University, Ara, Bihar, Dr. Amit Kumar, Senior Assistant Professor and Head, PG Department of Geography, Munger University, Munger, and the technical support, Dr. Dept Prakash, Senior Assistant Professor, Department of Geography, Magad University, and all the audience who have presented here to listen Professor Subhash Ranjan Basu sir memorial lecture. Thank you everyone. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Indrajit sir, for addressing each and every one in your vote of thanks address. Thanks a lot for sparing your valuable time.
Madam Convener and
Yes, sir.
respected Chairman, I am sorry that I missed one very important information. With permission of the chair and patron and convener, may I mention the point which I missed, and it is very important. The convener of West Bengal chapter of Founders and Makers of Modern Geography, India, Dr. Jadul Islam, is trying to organize another lecture on Professor S.C. Mukhopadhyay. And very soon, Professor Jadul will give us the final date. And according to that, we shall be organizing that episode devoted to Professor A.C. Mukhopadhyay, another very important geomorphologist of our country that I have to mention, that which I missed. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, sir. And I think we have missed one. I'm getting it in the chat box. On 31st May, we are having another episode. This 31st of May. So please, I request all the members to please join the episode on 31st of May at 5 p.m. The brochure will be released soon. Thank you so much. I now request all of us to please stand for our national anthem and please recite. Bharat Mata ki Vande Vande. Thank you so much, Amrish Rai sir. Officially, the episode is completed.